Well, hey guys, welcome into the show. Today we got a special guest with us. That is the superstar known as Micah White.
Let's go. Thanks
How we doing today, Mike?
Doing great. Appreciate y'all having me.
Cheers to these waters.
No howlerhead.
No howler.
Replacement.
No howler, no warbringer.
No Warbringer.
And a baby Starbucks over
And a baby Starbucks over
Well,
there.
what you got in there?
Little
cortado?
A little cortado, man.
Okay.
Love cortados, dog.
Sheesh,
Cortados. They toss a little dick oat milk in there, you know, like.
Yeah.
Should be delicious, though.
Oat milk.
Yeah.
Where's your name at?
My name?
Oh, it says Dick.
It says Daddy right
It says
there.
Dick right there.
Daddy.
Dick Eater.
Daddy.
Dick Eater.
Daddy. So what's going on, champ? How's everything going?
Feeling great, man.
Yeah?
Excited for this Sunday. It's been a
Fight
great
week.
camp. Fight week. Getting the water in, cutting the weight. Feeling good. Everything feels good.
Very nice. You get to eat today?
Yes, I feel good. Weight's on point, really. It's crazy. I'm like right around now where I was getting into the tub and stuff last camp. So I'm way ahead of
So
schedule.
you're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
so you're
which
gonna
is
be able
good.
to regular meals. until-
Different. Yeah, I mean, it's still healthy. I feel like I can eat whatever I want, but the stricter I am, the easier it's going to be come time to sit in that tub or that sauna. So kind of doing a lot of that delayed gratification right now.
When will your last meal be?
Probably Friday's breakfast, or depending on how my weight is, probably Friday lunch. And then cut it out. Cut the first half probably Friday night. Wake up early Saturday morning, cut the rest, and then weigh in.
You got somebody cutting your food and stuff for you, like mapping out your meals right now? Or you kind of do it yourself?
Not really. One of my teammates, Gabe Macario at Main Street, he kind of
Gabe's
helps
good.
with some of the rehydration. I was like, hey man, like if I want to snack, I'm a big snacker. Like what can
Yeah.
I snack on without being like, a fatty, with
Right.
some chips and stuff. And he gave me some little tips and just some of the other teammates and stuff. But again, I could be eating whatever I want, and I would just hate myself coming into the weight cut. So I've just been cleaning it up myself and taking some tips from past like wrestling weight cuts and stuff, eating clean. the
Gabe does
basics.
the Dulce diet, right?
Yeah, he
I think
does.
so.
He has.
He's
like
fucking
a
shredded.
wizard, bro.
He's like the cleanest
so
eating
He's a
dude.
wizard.
Yeah.
Like,
You see those posts he does, and he's got like a full plate of food,
Yeah.
little bit of fat, just a certain
Yep.
amount of calories, but shit looks
Hey,
great.
breaks it
nothing-
down. I'm like, it looks good.
Very good.
Nothing will make you feel worse than like sitting on your couch and I've got like a beer or a drink.
You open
You know,
up
and
the
he's got some wings.
Wings.
And I open up Gabe's store and he's like, for a snack, I had these 3 dates. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
fuck.
know,
Like,
man.
but he looks so happy to have those 3
Yeah.
dates.
No,
you
I
know,
hate
like-
whenever he's like out of camp at practice and he like takes his shirt off.
He's
I'm
like
like,
paper
dude,
thin
this
still.
guy is-
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm fat right now. I'm like 30 pounds overweight, and he's just
Shredded.
6-pack shredded up. I'm like, bro, I wish. dude.
Yeah.
I look like a fat old man when I got up to like 145 this
Yeah.
past.
Yeah. How big of a weight cut is it for you now, the sport of
So
your career?
it's been a lot better, as you guys know.
Yeah.
I've been with you guys since I was 17.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I was gonna
cutting
say.
from 124 to 125 kind
Right.
of fights.
Right,
putting on
right.
weight. But since my last fight, I started at about 135, 138 from my last fight.
Yeah.
This time I got all the way up to 145. Just on the
put some
weight,
muscle on.
started a new strength conditioning camp, put some muscle on, and just eating like an idiot, but that's kind of where I've been missing putting the weight on, because it's hard for me to eat bad and then still have good practices and things like that too, but I just kind of had put that aside, eat, lift, and I got up to like 145, but I was just fat. But now with that cutting down, it's like the best shape I've ever been, in my life.
So what's
I'm
like
excited.
a typical schedule for you during the week? Like what's your training schedule look like?
Okay, lock in. We're gonna go all over
Here
the
we
place.
go.
So Monday morning, I'm at Main Street, and then Monday night, I'm coaching wrestling classes. Tuesday morning during camp, I'm also at Main Street, and then I'm usually at 4 ounce at night, and then teaching classes right after that. Wednesday, I'm sparring in the morning at Main Street, and then it's sparring and hard practices at night at 4 ounce. Thursday morning is team took in the morning, and then I'm usually just off coaching, so I'll hit like a run or something like that. And then Friday has been Tuesday and Friday mornings. Actually, I switched up now this camp only, and I did a new strength and conditioning routine. It's
Okay.
this guy named Logan with Loganitis. He's gonna get all the credit for this new and improved Micah White. Like, he's completely changed just some of my mental, the physical, the strength and conditioning. Like, he's really transformed me this camp. So I'm really excited to show the dividends of that. And then usually Saturday, Sunday, it's just like a run or maybe a little lift or something. Nothing
So there's
crazy.
never a just do nothing today.
No. The
Never.
closest to that would be like maybe just one run after like church and lunch.
But that's still like 3 to 5 miles
something,
probably.
That's
right?
that's like your closest thing to a rest day.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for like recovery, like ice baths, saunas?
Ice baths. I like ice bath a lot. I used to have a sponsor called Hormesis, and they did like a sauna cold plunge therapy. And dude, I recommend it 100% of the time. Like they do the whole detox of the sauna before, and then you get out, you're dying, you want to be cold, then you hop in that cold plunge, it just like completely shocks your body. It's like 32, 33 degrees because like they keep it whirling or whatever. So it's pretty much as cold as water can get without it being freezing, and it sucks, but you feel great.
Man, we were really blessed to have a sponsor. Sisu plunges, man.
I've heard of those. I heard they're really good.
So they got some awesome new ones they just released where like the cooler is part of the one unit, so it's just one unit. But they sent ours out. I remember it took me a while to even break like 50. I was like, okay, this
Mine is
sucks.
still set at 50, but it feels like a lot
It's still
colder.
cold as crap.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Well, you hit a point where it's like cold is cold.
Right.
You know
I'm
what I mean?
old,
Especially
man. I don't need
with
that.
water. But
Nothing.
whenever you get into that 30s, even if it's higher 30s, low 40s,
dude, that's
you do
insane.
feel the difference.
There's nothing.
insane.
I don't know if there's anything worse. Like in a cold pool, you can just jump in.
Yeah,
Right.
and you
Like,
get used to it.
Yeah, right. But like here, getting into my plunge, like I love my Sisu plunge, but like nuts and nips, like when those
It's the
two are
worst.
hitting,
It's
it's
the
like
worst.
everything about it is like I don't need to fucking do this.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Like,
Yeah, what is this for?
Yeah, literally.
I'm not
fighting.
competing. What am I doing?
That's my thought. It's like, bro, I'm not sore from training.
Yeah,
What am I doing?
Just put your hands in to text everyone and make all the fights and stuff. Yeah.
I did probably like maybe 3 weeks ago. I just went like just to my knees. I was like, fuck, I did the old man plunge.
Yeah,
I was like,
just
fucking
your
knees
knees.
hurt, dog.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, usually for me is like the hands for me. Like everything else would get like numb, but my hands hurt like so bad.
Yeah.
And obviously, I guess that's how much we use them, but I think it's just so fragile too. Like my hands and my toes are like the worst in the cold plunges.
Hey, question for the champ from IG. We want to know what's a big meal you look forward to after all your weight cutting after a fight camp and a hard fight?
Oh my gosh. Anything and everything you could find at the rodeo, and it's so dumb because the rodeo ends this Sunday.
Oh,
So I'm
man.
like,
you would have had to hit the first weekend.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was already kind of locked in. But usually steak is my big go-to. Steak or wings. So
Wings, bro.
if I could get a
We're
nice
wing
good
eaters.
steak
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some good like lemon pepper hot wings.
Yep.
I'll
Look, it's
splurge.
steak and wings. It's hard to
hard
pass
to
up.
beat.
It's
Like,
hard to
yeah,
pass.
it's hard. It's hard to beat that for sure.
But me and Rich will go into a wing spot and order 100,
Yeah.
and we'll put them
Yeah.
down.
And you would think it would be me eating
No,
like
I put
60.
'em.
Is this motherfucker
Right,
over here?
right,
You know,
right.
like,
70-30?
like just
80-20.
an
Right.
endless fucking tank of meat.
Yeah,
Like that. You
like
could-
Wingstop, their ranch and their fries. I do like either the lemon pepper fries,
Yeah.
or they do the lemon pepper seasoning, or like the Parmesan fries.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, with the ranch.
See, I'm
bro.
not big on the fries or anything. It's just the wings.
The wings.
Wings. Even steak.
Oh,
like,
my
I
God.
could just eat steak and broccoli. I don't need mashed potatoes.
I
And,
love the mashed potatoes
Yeah.
too. Or like a good sweet potato from like Texas Roadhouse, brown sugar.
oh,
It's
shit.
fire.
Mike 3194 wants to know what's your mindset before a fight like?
Man, it's a good question. So I kind of have like different stages when it comes to my mentality, right? So day of, it's usually Sundays, obviously, so I try to knock out church, something like that. And then I try to really keep my mind off of the fight as much as I can, right? Because the
Hard.
last 6-8 weeks, I've been thinking about this one guy
Right.
every day, right? Every training session, every clean meal is for what? To fight Alex Elliott for this fight, right? Or whoever
Right.
it may be. So I try to keep my mind off it, whether it's video games or just hanging out, talk with people the best I can, right? Because when you have all that built up anxiety, like, oh, I have to fight today, I have to fight today, I have to fight today, that's where you see those adrenaline dumps and stuff happen, which I've experienced in my career, so I try, to stay away from it. For me, once I really get locked in is when I'm getting my hands wrapped. When I'm getting my hands wrapped, that's where I'm like, all right, time to zone in. Put my headphones on. I usually start with like worship and stuff like that, kind of get the spirit right, get the mind right, stretch out, and then I turn my beat speaker on, turn on the gangster, turn on the rap, and it gets into kill mode. And then from there, it's really no nerves. Really, it's only nerves up to I'm getting my hands wrapped. After that, it's just go mode,
It's interesting, Eric and I get to walk around. Not a ton, but during the fights, we're getting moved around a lot, and you can see the stages of guys.
Yeah.
Like when they first show up to a venue, they're getting their hands wrapped. to the moment. It's never failed. Like I think at least 3 of your fights, right before you've walked out, I've had to run to the back or something.
And he's on the side right there.
And he's right on the
with his
side.
flag.
Yeah, pacing, doing his thing. But also enough in the moment that like as I'm going by, you're still like,
What's up?
Like, yeah, you know, like he's still there, which I love it, you know, because there's some guys, like everyone's different. Everyone locks in so differently, and it's really, really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like even like at our gym, a lot of our guys are similar, but like their day of fight is so different, man. And you know, is that something that you've always had like the same prep, or is it something you've kind of like crafted as all these fights have gone on?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think a part of it is to answer the question, it goes to what fight camp did you have, right? Because at that point right there's nothing else you can do.
Nothing.
Right?
You can't learn nothing.
I walk out
right
my
there.
flag, got my bandana on. There's like, I can't go hit pads one more time. There's no, like, what you've done is done. So if I'm usually confident in my camp and my preparation at that point, it's like, this is the fun part, right? I got all my family, friends here. I put in the work. I've sold the tickets. I've done the T-shirts, all the behind the scenes weight cut. Now it's just time to have fun, right? So at that point, it's like, I see my dogs walking by. It's like, hey, be ready to watch this fight. Let's go.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Where you going? Get your ass
You know,
back
and
up.
everyone's like, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, Micah. And like, I'm trying to stay focused in, but I'm like, you know, what's up? You know,
Right.
these guys paid money to come and see me and stuff. But yeah, at that point, it's just fun. And for me, from wrestling, from jiu-jitsu, from everything I've ever done, I pace like crazy. I run like a freaking marathon just right there in that little hall before walking out. It's just kind of a thing. Like, I don't like sitting still. You got all the jitters and the nerves and that adrenaline, and I'm just like pacing, and I'm thinking everything in my head. I'm about to kill this dude.
And you know who's crazy? Jason Solis, before he would fight or compete, I always knew when he was competing that because he's sprinting down the halls.
Yeah.
Like
that's a little too much.
Dude
but
was a like phenomenal athlete, but like you see him and you go in the back, and I mean he's just fucking full out sprinting, sprinting, and you're like, dude, I would be exhausted
That's
from the
crazy.
sprint.
Yeah, maybe like as a warm up, but not like right before you come out to the fight.
Oh, that
There
dude
was
had a
somebody
tank. It
who
was crazy.
fought on in San Antonio, maybe on the last card, and they were like, he had his hands wrapped already, and he was like, "Hey, can I go outside? Because I like to sprint."
Oh yeah.
Who was that?
Oh,
He's like, "I like to sprint
yeah.
before I fight."
yeah, and
Was
the
that
state
San
wouldn't let
Antonio?
him. The state wouldn't let him go out.
Was that last?
he had his hands
That
wrapped
had to
already?
be in
Yeah,
San
I think it was San
Antonio.
Antonio. I'm pretty sure it was.
You fought in San Antonio, for
Yeah.
sure. How for you? How is it? You like fight? Obviously, probably in Houston better.
Yeah.
But does it bother you at all when you're used to that Houston crowd and all your?
Yeah.
Because you sell a ton of tickets.
Yeah.
Versus going to San Antonio and maybe having a third of that.
Yeah, it has its pluses and minuses. Like, nothing beats your own hometown, right? But
Waking
then
up in your bed.
it switches also where it's all about business when you go out of town. So
Right.
I've only had maybe 3 or 4 fights out of town. I think 2 or 3 with you guys in San Antonio, and I had my only fight that was outside of Fury. It was like a short notice, 1 week notice when I was up in Missouri,
Okay.
and it was in the middle of nowhere in like Kansas, right? But it's something about not having to sell tickets, not having to deliver and T-shirts and tickets and all that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm here to fight. It's like a business trip. And then for the mental side of it, it's like when I'm home, it's like I got to defend the home crowd. Like, this guy's come from South Carolina to try to beat me in front of all my hometown people. Like,
Right.
no way, right? But then there's something about going to there, like, I'm about to whoop you in front of your family, your friends, in
Right.
your hometown, right? So they kind of have their pluses and minuses. If I had to pick, obviously I want my own crew there, but I don't mind fighting.
So
out
if you're
of town either.
fighting in an out of town show and you hear them boo you and
Like, come
chant,
on. They're gonna
it
cheer
doesn't
after.
matter.
They
It doesn't
always
matter.
cheer after. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Or in that case, the boos are good, right?
Yeah.
Noise is noise. I'll take the
Yeah.
noise, because it shows you're interested. You're watching the fight. I'd rather that than everyone being like, "Oh, okay, here's some flyweights. Like, now's the time to
Man,
go grab
the
a beer."
flyweights are probably one of our most exciting divisions now, right?
It's one of our most exciting divisions,
developing
but
guys,
also,
though.
Yeah.
but also, it's consistently been one of our top divisions.
It has to be one of the most stacked right now.
Yeah,
Like,
and look,
it's
we're
crazy.
extremely blessed to we've got Mick here in town.
Yeah.
It's for you guys. It's like having a contender series every time you fight because you're
Yeah.
literally fighting in front of your boss every single time.
It's true.
And now you've been blessed as well. Like you've been fighting in front of Mick since you were like 17 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
You know,
He
so-
knows you.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things like we've all watched you like grow up in this
Literally,
sport.
yeah.
2018, I think was your first fight.
Something like that. Crazy. It was a weekend. It was the week or week and a half after I turned 17. My birthday's December 2nd. I fought on December 13th.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like-
remember him doing Submission Hunter and his dad telling me, "Hey, he's gonna be 17 and wants to fight." So.
You're like, okay, like
I remember.
And then it really happened. I was like, holy shit.
There was no like little dudes in town. And so like you actually came out to my gym. I think it was just Sijan because there was like nobody there that day.
I remember
and they were
that.
like one of the only 115 pounders.
Yeah.
And Sijan rolled around and sparred a little bit with him,
Yeah.
and he left. And I was like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Kid's fucking good," you know. And I was like, "Yeah." And he's only 17.
Let's go.
What the fuck are you gonna do? And
Let's go.
Sijan was like, "I don't want to." That's. He goes, "That's a problem for a
Yeah.
lot of people right there." So it was very evident, like very early on, like how good you were gonna be. Another question from the audience here, man. _Shutter wants to know, the fight game has highs and lows. Do you lean on the support of your family and loved ones, or do you isolate to process the feelings?
Man, I have to lean on my family. I feel like that's what they're there for, right? And I feel like that's... What's up, Mr. Wayne? I feel like that's a big blessing that I have, right? A lot of people don't have family and stuff to be able to rely on and go through that kind of stuff with. That was actually a big thing with the one loss that I have on my pro record. Like, I didn't really know how people would treat or react to me after a loss, right? You know everyone's going to be there after a win. You get all the messages. But it was honestly, I needed it on the mental side of showing, like, the people that I would want to be there after a loss were there. And then some, you know? So that was really big for me. But it fueled me even more to go into fights without pressure. I had a little bit of pressure before that of thinking, like, man, who's really going to support me if I lose? But knowing that now, it's just full reign ahead. Win or lose, I'm just trying to put on a show for you guys now. Because you are there for me regardless. So I just want to make your money's worth and be exciting and keep that 100% finish rate as a professional. You know, I want to finish this guy on Sunday, and I feel like I have more than enough options to do that.
You know, in a perfect world, how many fights are you looking to be able to get this year?
My goal is like 3 to 4. I would like 4, but being realistic, at least for sure 3. So I'm hoping to get one maybe early summer, and then again maybe around August, and then finishing up around like November, like usual.
Okay,
Hey,
so I was trying to help.
What the fuck you doing?
Watch here, don't do that. It's got a weight limit on it.
That's what it is.
Mine's rolling good.
yeah, look at mine.
Mine's rolling good.
I've surpassed the weight limit on this bad boy.
Richie
Freaking.
rape chair over here.
Welcome into the show.
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up, hey? Great to be back. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys.
That's your EFC.
Yeah. Great morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Jay saying, work some magic, get me off suspension.
Well,
Man, bro,
I don't got that much magic,
man,
brother.
I've personally really tried, man.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Jay.
we shot emails, calls, texts.
Death threats.
right.
All the guys can say is, don't do that again.
Trying to be a YN, man. Gotta get rid of that.
Oh my goodness.
Jay will be
man.
back in no
He's
time.
a beast, though. I'm
Yeah, he
excited
is.
for his
Jay will
return.
be
I
back
can
in no
tell.
time.
I saw him, the last time I saw him in person was at 4 Ounce at their family fun day.
Yeah.
And he looked good. He looked big. He looked
Thick
just kinda
Aldretti.
fun. That
Thick
boy's
Aldretti.
Thick, boy.
Yeah.
He got thick. But it's good. It's not fat. Like, you can see he's still ripped up. Got muscle.
Bobby's world.
And he just seems itching for a fight. So I'm excited to see
My boy Jay.
Excited to see him come back.
Jay Bobby's world Aldretti.
It's crazy to think, even in like 2018 when you had debuted, it was a rarity to see like the 17-year-old fighter.
They're all over now.
It was legal in Texas,
Yeah.
but we really didn't have a lot of them that popped up, you know. And I remember like Corey Aldman years ago. It was this really big deal because he came in at 17 years old and armbar. I forget who it was.
Brandon Ferris.
Brandon Ferris, yeah, armbarred Brandon Ferris. And it was
Completely
crazy.
ripped his shit off.
Crazy. I don't think he never fought again. I think he might have had one fight after
Wait,
that.
maybe one more. Dude,
yeah.
he used to come out in his fight shorts with cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And he fought this grown-ass man from Submission
Boxing.
Academy.
Yeah.
Academy.
SBA. Yeah.
And like the dude didn't tap. And that was the first time in person live that I had actually seen somebody's arm completely.
Yeah.
And you can just hear it.
But then,
holy shit.
it was the rarity to have like the young fighter.
Yeah.
And now, we were doing a list the other day of like guys who were under 20, not 20 and above, like under 20.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a massive ass list, and like we
I
haven't
went from 5
published
to
it.
10, 15, 20. I'm like, I think we're at like 24,
Yeah, we keep
25
and
right
you,
now.
you worry
That are on
because
our
like
roster.
you're like, damn, who else am I forgetting? Because you know there's somebody
there's
that
a
we're
bunch,
forgetting. Man.
Well, there's gonna be more to come. Like
Yeah,
I
no
feel
doubt.
like, so I started training when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Right, just the basics, used to get bullied, self-defense kind of thing, and I just fell in love with it. And that was rare at the time to stay with it. So I had kids that would whoop me at jiu-jitsu tournaments, and their main sport was baseball. I'm like, bro, you're this good. This is my main sport, and you're just going to play baseball. Like, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. I was like, okay. Then boxing, same thing. People would do boxing. They're like, yeah, I'm not really into it. But for me to kind of stay consistent was rare at the time. I feel like now you're at a disadvantage if you didn't start when you're 5, 6, 7 years old. Because now the next group, it's normal now with this generation. So I feel like, not that I was the first one, but one of the first to really begin that.
Definitely.
And now I feel like you're at a disadvantage if you didn't start earlier, you know? Unless you're like a Josh Van that started like 2 years ago and you're freaking...
That's insane,
not
isn't
the
it?
headline UFC card. Yeah.
That shit's crazy. We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked
last
about
week
on the last fight, and then I was talking with another buddy of mine afterwards, and he was like, "So how good is Josh Van's wrestling?" I'm
Dude's
like,
gonna be a
"It's
champion."
not." I'm like, technically, he's
athletic
really,
as
really
fuck.
good because of like he's learned a few tricks from Daniel and those guys. Which is, look, if you're gonna learn how to fucking wrestle, Daniel Pineda is the man.
Yeah, those are the ones.
The man to go to,
Yeah.
right.
So, but if you look at it on paper, you're like, he should not be able to get up. He shouldn't be able to stop any takedowns.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I train with them. I'm like, how's this dude stuffing my takedowns?
It's
Getting up?
it's
Like,
insane.
He's crazy.
He's athletic as fuck.
And you have to think, these aren't just high school wrestlers. These are world-class wrestlers. This guy is a world-class Japanese wrestler shooting over and over, and Josh is just like stuffing it like crazy. And I remember I had trained with Josh back when he was still with like the Silverback boys and some of those guys back, whatever, and he had zero wrestling, none. That was like my thing with him. Like, he'll piece me with the boxing, I'll take him down. It's like, I gotcha, right? Then all of a sudden he went to Missouri for a little bit when I was living out there, and he got a little bit better, but I could still out-wrestle him. Then when I got to 4 ounce, he also knew how to wrestle. I'm like, bro, where did I miss the in-between? And like, not just know how to wrestle, like keep up, but taking me down, stopping my takedowns. I'm like, bro, this dude he's a beast.
That's
man.
a dangerous
He's a
man when they
beast.
can strike.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That shit's crazy.
He's an animal, man. He's so good. It's crazy to see his rise. Like, I feel like with him, I've talked to my dad about this all the time. Like, what is it with him? Because he's such an anomaly, right?
What is he, 22?
22, 23.
now.
He's like a year older than me.
Okay.
But with him, I think I figured it out where you teach him something and he doesn't forget it. Right?
Yeah.
For me, it's like I have to do it live. I have to do it a couple times for it to stick.
Right.
We can all go to jiu-jitsu class. Next week, it's like, what did you learn again? And you're like, at the
what'd you
run
learn
through
for
it.
last class?
Him,
Yeah.
like, I'll show him something, like a little tip on wrestling. He's like, okay, thank you. And then he'll do it to me the next week or the next round. And I'm like, bro, like, this really sticks in your mind like that.
Yeah.
And I think his brain is just wired different, where he remembers all these techniques, and he's an animal.
It's interesting when you show a good athlete with that good retention something, and then you turn around and you're like, are they doing it better than I am?
Yeah.
Like how is his timing so much better already?
So good.
Yeah,
So
he's been fun. Like you've been blessed now. So is 4 ounce and Main Street your two like main training
gyms,
camps?
Yeah, I'm evenly loyal and split pretty much between them. But having him, Alden, and those guys at 4 ounce, like, you see obviously Josh in the UFC,
Right.
not just in the UFC, but making waves in the UFC. Alden right there on that doorstep, champ. Let's just say the best in Fury right now
Sure.
is the champ, right? Hopefully soon to be in the UFC. So it's like being able to have those range of guys, and then we have all the fillers as well, the mid-pros, the amateurs, and I kind of fit right kind of in between there, to where these guys are beating me up. I'm like, if Alden fought this guy I'm fighting on Sunday, he smokes him. If Josh fights him, he smokes him. So it's almost like, all right, guys, I'll go handle the light work. Like, y'all sit back, you know what I mean? Big bros, you know, those are like, they're like big brothers to me in the game, you know, and they teach me a lot and they beat the crap out of me, but it helps when it comes this time of the confidence, like, this guy's not training with the caliber of guys that I'm training with, you know? And that's not even including all the guys at Main Street that push me as well. And it's just, it's a recipe for good outcome come Sunday, you know what I mean? So I love training with those guys.
Send out some posts, doggy.
What you got?
I got you. Just nudes.
What you got over here?
It's all nudes.
What
It's
is
a lot.
this?
It's a lot of shaft pictures.
Rich done logged me
Mainly.
out of my own OnlyFans.
Why are you subscribed to BBC.com? What is that? Oh,
Rich's login.
Hey, shout out
Big-breasted chicks.
to the Hall of Famer Jacob Silva joining us right now.
The Hall of
Animal.
Famer Jay Wayne.
What's up, little animal in the house?
1 and 2.
There we
Boom.
go, too.
Who was one? Was Jacob one?
Yeah, definitely.
You were number
Absolutely.
two?
Yeah,
I was number two?
Who? Yeah.
Hey, you beat a lot of guys into the Hall of Fame. Right?
That's right.
You beat off a lot of dudes to get to the Hall of Fame.
I was waiting for that.
There was a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes got the
Different
beat
way.
off.
Beater over here. Yeah, I beat a lot of dudes off to get in that number 2
Hey, what
spot.
y'all end up doing for St. Patty's Day?
Oh, goddamn, pal. Off air.
I had a great time
Where were you at?
at Moe's Irish Pub.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It's my niece's birthday on St. Patty's Day. Every year, their birthday, obviously. But my little brother takes them up there, and he invited me this year. We had a good time.
I was in New Orleans at
Great
work.
drinks.
So like I didn't.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Good
really.
shit.
I went out and had like a good dinner. You know, like that was good. But they were all doing their St. Patty's fun. I'm like, I got a client here. Like I can't really rip into it right
You
now.
don't drink with your clients?
Yeah, we'll drink, but you can't drink with a client. You can't drink like we normally
Business
would.
drink, yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean,
it's like, oh, would you like one more? Would you like one more? But you really only
want a
mean
shot?
you mean one more.
You want a shot?
Not we're mixed like one more.
That's
you're
the
like
beginning.
That's a
That's the
fucking rest of the night
beginning
now.
of the
Yeah. You're
yeah.
like usually when that
Beginning,
comes
yeah.
out, you're like, all right, we just started. Okay. Now the fun has
You probably
started.
trained on St. Patty's Day, huh?
Yep. You already know what
Had it not been fight week, would you have done something else?
I don't know. I'm not really a big I guess holiday drink or anything like that. Especially
You
when
just
it
drink
comes
all
to
the
stuff
time
like that.
regularly?
Yeah, right. I'm more of a casual. When I do drink, I have a little drink with the fam at dinner and stuff like that, or like New Year's,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So you don't drink during the week normally?
Nah.
No.
I'm-
No, he's not like us.
No, don't put me in that category.
Hey, it'll probably change in 20 years.
Maybe when
I
I'm
mean,
done
you gotta-
fighting, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, we're all 20 years plus older than you.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, soda's my alcohol, man. Give me a nice cold Dr. Pepper. I could have about 12 of those a day.
No
That's
shit.
where I'll come in.
I think that's worse than drinking alcohol.
I think that is worse than drinking
It
alcohol.
is.
Yeah, it's probably
So
worse.
maybe I'll have to convert over. Maybe I should take some notes from you
Yeah,
guys.
You had to make the healthy choice to start drinking
right.
alcohol.
I guess you're right. You guys got one.
Loser.
If I learned one thing on the podcast today.
You stop drinking Dr. Pepper and you start drinking whiskey.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh shit, man! So outside of your own fight this weekend, is there another fight you're looking forward to seeing on the card?
I mean, I feel like I have like 15 teammates on this card. I'm really excited for the main event. Haven't seen Colton fight in a while. It'll be cool kind of seeing him. I train with him a little bit at Main Street when he pops in, and he's obviously with Henzo and stuff. There's a lot of good fights on the card. Another one of my teammates, Cody Freeman, he's a beast from Main Street. And I've been rolling around and kind of seeing Kyle Toderink as well at Team Took. And he's made a lot of improvements in his own way. And, I'm cool with him too. When it comes to fights where it's like people I know or teammates versus people I know, like, it's kind of like business is business. Like,
Yeah.
It's not about like, oh, did you tell him his game plan or this and that? It's like, man, you guys fight, let the best man win. I'm cool with both of you guys and let it be, obviously I have loyalty towards Cody, he's my teammate. But,
Sounds like he just picked a side.
He did pick a side.
Oh my
he did
God.
pick a side.
Kyle's gonna beat me up next time he sees me. But no, there's a bunch. There's a bunch
Lester?
of good fights. Lester, always. You go 5-0. Let that boy get contender series this year, man.
Lester Jr.
It's cool seeing his rise. Like, we both wrestled together in high school. And it's
Y'all
cool.
went to the same school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're the same grade and everything. So I've known him since obviously a freshman. But it's cool, and I've given him his flowers before of like, he used to be a knucklehead kid. Like, always the cool, popular, but, partying stuff too much. And he was so athletically talented to where he would still do so good. But I'm like, bro, if this dude like locked in, he could be like that much better.
He was John Jones? He was John Jones in high school? All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. But then I saw him make that switch, and I was like, bro, and I told him this maybe like last fight. I was like, dude, you've matured. You've really stepped into like that manhood kind of thing. Like, grew out of like that little boy, and it's shown. Like, he's
locked
demolishing
in,
the
man.
game.
Yeah.
It showed him place his senior at state with wrestling. That was a big turn, for him. And then now he's doing his thing. So I love fighting on the same card as him.
I think him doing that IMMAF
Mm-hmm.
journey
Helped
really
him a lot.
helped him mature and
I
stuff a
agree.
lot too. Got him a lot of experience.
I agree.
He did very well in that.
I think if he can get a finish with this guy, I think he might be one more away from a contender series.
That's what we're thinking too. You never know what Sean's thinking. but
Right.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
So before we let you get out of here, looking at your fight coming up, Alex Ilium, what is the perfect scenario for you in this fight? Like, what is the perfect outcome?
Man, I as long as I get a finish, that's all I really care about, you know. And the last fight, I feel like it was awesome being able to get 3 rounds, dominate the fight from start to end, and get a finish. Best case scenario, everyone wants that Jorge Masvidal 5-second knockout, right? But I really like to just show my skills everywhere. You know, I feel like I'm better than this guy everywhere. I feel like if I'm feeling good in the striking, we keep it striking. If I feel like we're getting overwhelmed with the striking, I take him down. I feel like I can do whatever I want this fight. So I feel like I just want to be me, you know, be me, be Micah, fight how I've always fought. And yeah, I feel like that's more than enough with this guy.
I'm a little concerned. I was going to have a prop bet, but it looks like you cut your hair a little shorter. This fight, I was going to go with how many times Mike fixes his hair.
About 15 to 16.
Dude, I love it. Like it's cool when you see like every fighter kind of has their own reset.
Yep.
And whether they know they're doing it or they don't do it, like you see it and you catch it. Mike's every time he fixes that hair.
2. Do you know the other one or no?
What's the other one?
Pulling the shorts.
Pulling the
out.
shorts. Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. That's Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier. Yeah.
Dustin Poirier's
That's
got
my
the short
two.
pull.
My
Diego
dad-
Lopez has the pinch the throat.
Pinch the throat. Yeah.
My dad used to hate me in amateur boxing because we had the headgear. I would always adjust the headgear. He's like, "Stop adjusting your headgear. You're just getting pieced up more." You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of my thing. You know, I still got to look good.
Hey, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Hey, before we get out of here, is there anybody you want to thank or mention?
Man, obviously shout out my teams, Main Street and 4 Ounce, but really especially that Loganitis training. So huge shout out to my Fit Fam and Coach Logan. You guys have changed my life mentally, spiritually, and physically. So all props to you guys. Excited to show the work that we've been putting in this camp and all the supporters, man, all the people that bought tickets. I'm excited to put on a show this Sunday. So.
Well, hey, man, we've enjoyed watching you fight since you were a little kid. You're a grown-ass man now out there getting work. And
We're still on the
we
journey.
look forward to seeing you out here representing H-Town this weekend.
Let's go. Thank you guys so much for having me. Bang.
All right, so this weekend we got Leon Edwards looking to get back in a title contention as he takes on 17-1 Sean Brady. I see this fight going, man.
Leon is the man.
Yeah, Leon Edwards all day.
Leon is the man.
I'm gonna take Sean Brady.
Of course you do.
I'm taking Sean
Yeah,
Brady
because he's white.
because he's
white.
fucking great grappler.
Because he's white.
Great grappler. I think he manages to take Leon down.
I mean, Kamaru Usman was a pretty good grappler.
he wasn't bad,
Pretty good grappler.
but he
as well.
weren't Sean Brady. Nah, like, he was pretty fucking good.
This 5 rounds, I see that head kick right at the fist.
Ooh, he's gonna redo the I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know about that one. Co-main event, we got Jan Blachowicz taking on Carlos Ulberg. I don't know much about Carlos Ulberg, but I know Jan Blachowicz is a fucking tree. So I'm going to take Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah.
Because he's white.
It's because he's white. I'm taking Carlos because he's white. Who you taking this fight?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Blachowicz.
Yeah, I'll probably go
All right.
Blachowicz as well.
All right. Welterweight division.
I got Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
You got to go with Kevin Holland
H-Town
fighting.
Batman, Kevin Holland.
Anybody,
Yeah,
you take
that's our
Kevin
guy.
Holland.
Absolutely.
Meatball, Molly McCann makes her return against Alex Thainara.
Got to go with the meatball in her hometown.
I'll go with the meatball. You want to go
I'll
meatballs?
go the other way. I'm going.
There you go.
I'm going
Because she's
her.
white?
Because she's white?
Yeah.
Jordan
She's the opposite of white.
Jordan Vucenic taking on Chris Duncan. I don't know who either guy is, so I'm going to take Jordan Vucenic because he looks like he's got a bunch of tattoos. Nathaniel Wood taking on Morgan Shari. Nathaniel Wood's very good. Very well-rounded. I'm excited to see him on this card. And then rounding out the undercard, we got Jai Herbert taking on Chris Padilla, Loner Kavanaugh taking on Felipe Dos Santos, Marcin Tybura taking on Mick Parkin, Christian Leroy Duncan, Andrew Puliev, and Shauna Bannon taking on Pooja Tomar. I'm not reading the rest of those names.
That's a lot of names.
Does Manyfield fight?
Nah, he was on the card.
He just fought.
But he got,
Didn't he?
I think he was pretty still beat up from his last fight, maybe. Mm-hmm. I think didn't he win his last fight? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he won it, but it was a scrap. Him and Julius Walker, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a dog
They got
fight.
fight of the night, I think.
Yeah, that was a fun fight to see. So yeah, that's UFC Fight Night 254 in London. I think the Dingo's going to be out there in London, right?
Mm-hmm. How long of a flight is it? 11 hours?
It's about 10, 11 hours.
Shit,
yeah.
man. So for him to make it back to Fury on Sunday like he's planning, he's got to have an early ass flight.
Yeah, but as
He
long
says
as
he's hitting the airport. He told me he's gonna hit the airport and come straight to the venue.
Well, it's a long flight, but like the time goes backwards. So they're like basically plus 9 hours in advance. So like what I did coming back, whenever I make that trip coming back, I just stay up the entire flight back. And that way when I land, I'm tired, but it's like 4 o'clock in the evening. So as long as I get home, piddle around for an hour or two, and then I can go to bed at 8.
He lands at 2, which means he leaves at what time you think over there?
If
Is
he
it going to be
lands at-
dark or daytime over there?
It'll be super morning time.
Like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
He'll probably leave at like,
No thanks.
yeah.
He's not gonna make it.
He'll make
He's not
it.
coming.
Yeah, he will.
He's a road warrior.
Yeah, he will.
He's a road warrior. He'll make it out.
He'll just stay up all night over there. You come in and be like, hey, where's the howler?
Where's the howler at?
How you doing? Short.
Shot a howler.
Shot of howler. Give us a shot of Warbringer over there. Did y'all check out that Warbringer drink I made?
Dude,
the
that
other
was
day?
awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Yeah, they sent me a little message too, like, hey, what a
It
great.
looked really good.
Dude.
Yeah, so
I don't know if I'm gonna go through there and muddle all the shit up.
Yeah,
and
Rich
stuff.
was like a
That's a little too
bartender on
much.
that
It's a
video.
little too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit extra for me. Man.
I'm gonna
It's a
do.
little too
pour
much.
and go.
I'm gonna make another one for this weekend for the
What's it
show.
gonna be?
I'm debating between like a root beer old fashioned,
Okay.
yeah, or I might make a shot, like a shot with it, some kind of like probably I like pineapple, so like pineapple and whiskey always tastes
And it's
good.
very smoky though.
It's very smoky.
So like you got to figure out what's gonna mix with that smoky taste.
Like,
brisket.
yeah. Have
Hey,
you
just chop up some brisket and barbecue sauce.
Hey,
and-
look, y'all. I had a steak and just Warbringer neat,
with a big ice cube.
big old ice cube. Hey, like it's
Let it
first of
melt
all,
a little
like
bit.
you gotta be ready to drink Warbringer straight. Like it's
tough.
it's a fucking man's
That's
whiskey.
a
Like it's got a
man's
good
whiskey.
taste
It's
to
the
it.
cock of the walk for a reason.
It makes you take your cock for a walk for sure. Like
Put the cock on a leash.
put that cock on a leash.
Take it for a walk.
Let me get this other.
The big beast of bourbon Warbringer whiskey.
What if you made like a Bloody Mary type with that Warbringer? Would it work? I know you do. I know you could do a michelada with.
Isn't vodka usually in Warbringer?
Yes. No vodka.
vodka in
and
Bloody
Bloody Mary.
Marys?
Yeah, right. But what if you did it with?
Then you got a beastie Mary.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Beast Mary.
yeah, there you go.
Beast Bloody Mary.
Yeah, Rich.
Try that.
Put that together and let us know how it goes.
I don't drink Bloody Marys.
Well, you're gonna do it for Warbringer.
No, the fuck I'm not. You bitches do it.
Beast Bloody Mary.
Beast Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do the root
He's
beer
got
old
it all in his
fashioned.
house. That's why he's got to try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the. We need to order some more bottles.
I need to hit up Alfred. Send us some fucking.
I just sent him some pictures the other day. He was
Alfred
asking,
Hitchcock.
Yeah, he was hitting me up asking for some more pictures of like the logo on the mats. But all right, guys, so we got Fury FC 103 going down this weekend. We are back once again with another pro card, and this one is stacked. Kicking off the night, we got Karan Reed and Christian Lopez in a fight where, is this the fight where somebody wants to stand and trade with Christian Lopez?
Listen, Karan, I know you hear me. Don't wrestle. He never does.
He never does.
Don't wrestle. Let's bang it out. Let's give the fans something to kick off the night. Bang it out.
Has anybody stood with Christian yet? Like every time it starts, he seems to do pretty
Oliver
well.
Jimenez did.
That didn't work.
Oliver's tough, man.
Oliver's
Oliver
super
would
tough.
love to have that one back. Speaking of Oliver, I just sent him a contract for May 25th.
Let's go.
Oliver Jimenez is back.
I'm excited to see him back, man. He's one of my favorite guys to watch in
I
the cage.
truly believe if Karan and Christian stand up in the middle of that cage, it'll be a very good night for the fans.
Yeah, I
Be a hell
believe
of a
so.
way to kick off the
Oh,
prelims,
dude,
man.
for sure.
Up next on the card, Drake Lopez taking on Michael Capone. Drake stepping up, taking this fight, short notice. Exciting to see him back in the cage. Connor Owens and Jeremy Alba. Maya Stewart and Kayla Yonsef. We haven't seen Maya since her upset of Olivia Beerley, so it'll be exciting to see her in
And
the
Kayla's
cage.
super excited, man. And I hear she's really good. Bob says he's looking forward to watching her.
Eduardo Anaya taking on the All-Star, Josh Aliman. Omar Smith taking on Jacob Berry.
That one should be fun.
Yeah, Alex Eliam and Micah White, Derek Adjade and Max Choryov, and Donovan Manuel and Paul Garza all highlight our prelims, which you can find on our Facebook page starting at 1 p.m. CST. That's 1 p.m.
Post Malone was at the rodeo.
Hey, did you go to the rodeo last night?
Hell no.
Have you been to the rodeo this?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Fuck, man. So I need to start planning cards out, not around
Before
the
the
rodeo.
rodeo? Yeah, it need to be before the rodeo.
I mean,
Or at least do like
I
the
go to
first.
rodeos because I want to eat. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, fuck that.
What's your
the rodeo started when? March 1st?
Like early March.
I don't know.
I mean, had you caught the first weekend of the rodeo, you probably could have, right? Because this weekend when y'all fight is the last day of rodeo.
Yeah, it is.
So if you finish this guy fast enough, you could run down there.
Right down there and get some fried
Go,
Oreos.
See,
go to the carnival real quick.
We should be partying with Chance Williams up in the suites,
I know,
but
man. Shout out Chance.
Eric Garcia
We
putting us to
appreciate
work.
the invite, but I got to get some prospects to the next level.
What's your go-to rodeo food?
Fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos.
Fried Oreo?
Yeah.
Damn.
That was the first thing I thought about.
My Twinkies. I heard
Yeah.
the fried Twinkies are pretty good.
We couldn't find it, but they got this watermelon with like fruit roll-up wrapped around it and tahini and chamoy. My daughters were looking for that. We
Oh,
couldn't-
y'all went last week?
Yeah. I took
During
them.
the day, huh?
I took them last Friday. Yeah.
How was it? Packed?
It was cool. Yeah. It's always packed now.
How many titties you see?
How many titties?
Yeah.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Was there just like one?
This one dude just had one nipple out. You know, like it wasn't both of them out at the same
Oh,
time.
okay. All right. I thought one of them was like a cyclops.
Triclops.
The real question is, how many dicks did you see?
13.
Okay.
13.
That's what you were really
13.
looking for.
Yeah, I was
That's
trying
what
to.
he was really
I
looking
was
for.
trying to beat your dad's record, but like I couldn't. It's impossible.
Rich likes to squeeze in at the traw. You know, like, he's a
Yeah.
pecker checker. He's like checking everybody.
Yeah, he's looking before he
One
pulls
of those dudes that just sneaks up next to you while you're pissing. Like, hey, can I just get in here real quick? Like,
Sweet dick,
it.
bro.
No, and there's like a whole empty line, and he's like right here.
Not bad. Not bad.
have you ever done that to fuck with somebody?
No, fuck no.
So this was years ago.
I don't
like,
do
this
gay
dude,
shit.
This dude were walking in the airport, and he just kind of like dickhead walked in front of me, like not like just like kind of hit my little fucking trolley thing I'm pushing. And she was like, this motherfucker here, and he goes into the bathroom, and I was like, I gotta piss too. I went in, and there was like 6 stalls, and he was just by himself. And dude, I literally went like, and my shoulders touching his shoulder. That's how I'm pissing. He's like, the fuck? I'm like, nah, we good. I was taking a piss.
And then he had a bigger dong than you.
I mean, it didn't taste like it was bigger, but like, wait, what are you saying?
Whoa.
Wait, what happened?
Hey, bro.
What happened here?
Hey, should we let him go, Wayne? Is it time for him to resign?
It might be, man.
It's time for him to
Hey,
resign.
listen,
from yours, bro.
hey.
I can't have this guy.
Hey, replace me. I'm in.
I don't know. Hey,
I'm out.
that might get you
Take it.
canceled if you let him go, though.
Yeah, that's
I don't know,
right.
man.
That's right.
For tasting,
that's
for
still a
tasting
thing.
penises.
You
yeah.
can't cut me and Senior. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
For him tasting penises?
Oh Lord, man, this fucking railed the moment Lester walked in.
For real, man.
The moment
What did
he
you do?
walked
What
in.
did you do to this?
What'd you
show?
do to
What
Lester?
did I bring, man?
Hey man, so
at all those
2021, your first fight. From 2021 to 2025, you have had, I don't know how many fucking fights you've had at this point. So that was 14 as an amateur. So you're already at 16 fights?
I'm about to be at like, so this is about to be my 20th fight. 'Cause
Jeez.
I was 13-2, and then now I'm about to be 5. No. So
when you look at, like, you stayed super, super busy as an amateur. And so far as a pro as well, 4 fights in 2024, you're getting your first fight here in 2025.
Damn, 4 fights last year, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Who says we can't keep y'all busy,
Right?
dog?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You were in the running for Fighter of the Year last year as well, and it came down to the final voting.
Yeah, I voted you, Rich. Voted someone else.
damn.
Damn.
All right, Rich.
Yeah, my bad, yo, my bad. But like, what have you like learned about yourself from just staying so busy? Because sometimes you see these fighters come in and like they have one fight, and 6 months later they'll have another fight, and then 6 months later there's another, and they can't figure out why they're not getting like one consistently better, but also just getting some love like from around. Like, what have you learned from staying so busy?
Man, to be honest with you, I think for me, I just need to stay busy. Like, if I'm not busy, I'm fucking off, you know? Yeah, that's it for me. Like, I need it. I need something in my
But
life.
you're
that's
always
consistent.
training, but I mean, it's fight camp mode is different than your regular training.
It is, but I mean, I'm training, but I can go and fuck off and still be in the gym, like,
Okay, so
bullshitting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'll...
because I've seen you outside of fight when you're not booked to fight, and we're drinking Terramana tequila and
Yeah,
doing your thing.
Exactly, and I'll still be in the training
and then he
room
goes
next
back
day.
to training, and I go to sleep.
Yeah, so that goes to let you know I need this shit. You know what I'm saying? What's that? I saw a meme and it's like, what makes the best fighters is alcoholics. Fucking Alex Pereira, fucking Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
So what's your typical like training week like?
Training week, I mean, I train like 2-3 times a day, and then I'm coaching all in between that. So I'm pretty much staying busy. Yeah, that's basically my life. That's
Do
just how I live.
you get any like rest days or day offs, or is it just like every day?
I guess not really. Every day I do something. I would say the weekends I just do privates, so I'm not necessarily working out, but like I'm thinking. I guess mental reps.
Yeah.
But I don't have any day off. I'm kind of always every day doing something. If not, I'm telling you, I'll be doing some other bullshit I shouldn't be doing.
So you've been around the sport since you were a baby. You know, I mean, your dad was a pro fighter. You know, like you've just been around this your entire life. Is this always been the dream? Like, is this always what you wanted to do?
No, to be honest with you, when I was younger, I actually wanted to do anything but what my dad was on. Because, like, me and him just, especially growing up, I mean, of course, as a kid, loved them, right?
Right.
Then you get to a certain age and you kind of start wanting to, like, revolt and do your own thing. And so, like, everything was kind of like, fuck you, you know, I don't want to do this because you want me to do this, you know? And so really, actually, the reason why I stayed athletic and all these things is because I wanted to play football. So that was kind of like my way to kind of stay active. But then really what brought me back to it was, I mean, of course, a bunch of other things, but wrestling in high school is kind of what like led me back into following this path. And honestly, like,
You wrestled all 4 years?
Yeah, all 4 years. And all throughout that, still played football, so varsity. So yeah, I mean, I was just always fucking busy.
Was there a time where you were worried like maybe you would have to make a choice, like football or wrestling?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Luckily, it's one of those ones that the seasons align pretty well, where you can kind of do both. It's pretty popular for most people to wrestle and play football, but at some point, like you got to make a choice.
100%. I would say like my senior year, because I had my football coaches trying to like tell me like, hey dude, you know, you got to be all in or out. And I just kind of didn't listen to them. I was like, look, I don't care what y'all telling me. Like, I love this and I love this.
Yeah.
Really, my thought would have been actually to quit football for wrestling, because I was doing really well in wrestling. Especially my junior and senior year. In football, I was getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's so hard like to prevent it, because like you're getting blindsided, motherfuckers are falling on your ankles and shit. Everybody's like 300 pounds, you know, and I'm tiny.
You played what position? Football?
I was a D lineman.
Ooh, shit.
I was fucking nose tackle. I was getting double team, triple team every play.
Damn.
Yeah. And
Were your coaches angry at you? Why are they putting
I was the only motherfucker in my school that had the tenacity to do it. Everybody else would get blown out. And for me, if you watch film of me, it was just me, 300-pound guys. I'd fucking judo throw them and go for the quarterback, you know. But like I was the only one who just had the ability to hand fight and all that shit in the pocket. I was just that guy.
Next day, which sport made you feel worse? Wrestling, football, or MMA?
Made me feel worse.
Like body-wise, physically.
Oh, physically, football for sure.
Yeah.
Football fucks you up.
How
like,
crazy is it?
My hands were like my fingers, because of like especially as a lineman, my fingers would be fucked up all the time. Helmets, you know, your helmets would get clashing into each other and shit. And then just the random impacts that you don't even see or remember getting hit by. You know, I mean, in football, they teach you basically sacrifice your body. It's like,
it's just crazy, man.
You know, it's not like fighting at all.
So early on in your career, you know, you had a lot of success. You didn't see your first loss until your fourth amateur fight.
That was a title fight, right?
Yeah, him and Arlton. At what point did you realize, like, fuck, I'm pretty good? Like I can actually do this?
Man, to be honest with you, I think when I was first starting out, I never even had those thoughts. To me, it was just like, this is what I am, you know. Of course, you have like small doubts, but like I had, like, especially my dad, I just had him like, kind of like, I guess, in a form of like manipulation, right? Is like just fucking telling you can do this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And so for me, it was just like I believed it.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't until I started kind of like, I guess, starting to think for myself, I guess, and that I really had to, like, in my own way, like, recognize, okay, like, this is what I am, and it's not because, like, he's telling me this is what I am. I mean, of course, that is still something that's in my subconscious, right? But, like, there's just a point where it's no longer I'm being, I guess, manipulated from it. It's more just my own belief.
How hard is it to balance that, like, father and coach role?
Now it's kind of, it's like, now it's easy, but when we first started,
It's
like,
tough, huh?
if you
Bump
could
heads.
ask Colton, we've fought in that motherfucking gym. You know, like,
Yeah.
we have, all three of us.
Who won?
You know, shit. Hey, we all have our days.
Your dad's a beast,
It's,
bro.
it's like, it
really
depends what year we talking.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I still remember sparring with Lester at Paradigm years ago, and he's always been pretty nasty.
Oh, yeah,
When
especially
with his kicks and just
Yeah.
he's just slick, man.
that motherfucker striking is
Yeah,
something
he's
else.
long and very awkward.
Yeah, he's tricky.
Yeah.
Once you start to figure out something, he's got
Yeah.
something else completely
Yeah.
for you.
I got to roll him a few times at Paradigm years and years ago, and like I remember he was one of those guys. Him and Pat Bierswall, for whatever fucking reason, we'd be rolling. I was like, where did they gain 30 fucking pounds? Like when this started, how did they get so strong in the middle of the roll? You know, it's like one of those guys. You're like, he very early was very good at flowing, moving, very tricky with his position. So like, it's been cool to watch you guys grow up. Like literally, you grow up. We've watched your dad kind of like grow up, be a man, have a kid, have his kid now out here fighting as well. Because watching that relationship, all of us have sons, and at some point, your son becomes less of like your son, and it's more of like your partner, your friend, and it's hard to maintain on the dad side of like, man, we're not friends. Like, it's my boy, you know, like you're my boy. So it's cool to see you guys maintain that relationship, man, because that shit's hard.
Especially when you kick your dad's ass.
Yeah.
It's got to be really hard though for him to watch you fight. You know, obviously he's confident, like my boy's ready. He's put in all the work, but just to imagine your son going out there and having to throw down, it's like, it's nervous. Like I'll always say, I used to get more nervous watching my team that I trained with leading up to the fight.
Sure.
And watching one of my guys go in there and me worried, damn, what if he gets clipped? What if he gets knocked out? Versus when it was myself. So I can only imagine how your dad feels, man, watching you walk out there. He'd probably be like, I'd rather be in there doing it, not him.
Nah, 100%. That motherfucker damn near wants to fight them himself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially knowing who my dad is. You
Right.
know, that motherfucker's got
Yeah,
a
Lester takes
mindset
no
on him.
smack from
None.
nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
What the fuck you say?
Yeah. He's quick.
Yeah.
So this weekend, 4-0, taking on Brett Pastor, looking to go to 5-0. At 5-0, where are you looking at the rest of the year? Are you already thinking about like contender series? Are you thinking about
Contenders.
like just keep
I'm
winning?
thinking, finish this motherfucker, get contender series, you know, fucking start the rest of, you know, the next chapter in my life. That's my thought process, really. I mean, of course, even if I do knock this guy out and they want me to get one more, then whatever, it is what
Sure.
it is. But yeah, my plan is do what I gotta do right now and punch my ticket.
How much research have y'all done on this guy? You watch film and stuff?
We watch film. We've definitely studied him. Of course, we kind of like the way I do it is I like in the beginning of the camp is really more when we do like that kind of studying, and then throughout the camp I'm no longer really trying to like watch him because I don't like being obsessive.
Sure.
I just like kind of seeing. All right, like for me, I don't picture a person or an individual. I just picture a set of moves, right? A set of that's it. A set of moves, and from there, like, how do I beat this?
Are you looking at this as your toughest opponent? He comes from a really good camp. He's a tough guy. He's got a decent record.
I believe he's gonna be good.
He's
I'm sure
excited. He's
tough.
excited. I mean, obviously, I keep in contact with all the guys that are fighting to make sure weight's good and you're showing up and there's no issues, you know. So he'll be here tomorrow. coming in an extra day early just to settle in. And what do you think? I mean,
I feel like I fought a lot of really good guys
Right.
in my career as well, but I mean, just like he has. But that's always gonna be something I said is, oh, this is gonna be your toughest fight. It's gonna be your toughest challenge. But it's like, at the
It's
end
just
of the day,
another one.
Yeah, it's just another one. Exactly.
and obviously you should expect that moving up the ladder, like this one should be a little bit different, tougher than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, this is all I expect. And honestly, like, I've always trained not for anyone like on my level. I've always thought like I'm training for the people that are the champions, like the Islams, the
Right.
Indias, you know, like that's just always been in my head is like I'm not training for these guys here. I'm training for those guys there, you know.
Right.
So your teammate Colton England is headlining this card. What's camp been like for you guys together out there with you guys obviously having a big feature fight on this card and then Colton as the headliner?
To be honest, it's been awesome. It's been a while since we've had like a camp together.
Yeah.
But Colton is one of the biggest, you know, persons that I guess have helped me grow in my career. I mean, as soon as I came out of high school, that was my main training partner is Colton. So it's just badass kind of like having that same dynamic that we used to have like 2-3 years ago, then now again with us being in camp together. Yeah, it's honestly badass. It's been fun, you know, pushing each other and like whenever one, it's kind of, what's that? Man, I fucking have it right here. Iron sharpens iron. Fucking my shirt.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it has been. One falls, the other lifts him up. The other falls, the other lifts him up. Right. So it's been fucking awesome.
You got the card pulled up?
Yeah, I got the card pulled up, baby. What you talking about?
Have you seen the card? You got this.
I've seen the card. Yeah, it's
What
a
I-
badass card.
What other fights are you excited about on this card?
Man, everybody from we got like 6 people fighting from Main Street. I can't wait to watch Micah, of course, Colton, Jacob fight.
Cody Freeman versus Kyle Todrank.
Oh yeah, Kyle and Cody.
That's a
yeah.
solid- that's
I'm
a
cool with
solid
them
fight.
both. I train over there at Tooks, so
I'm
I'll see Kyle.
I'm
sometime.
pretty interested in Shane Keefe and Artur Maneve.
Oh yeah,
Those lightweights, because this is going to be Keefe's first fight at 55.
Yeah.
And he's a big ass welterweight. He's like 6'3" maybe.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's super and very long. And then Artur's 4-0 coming off that knockout with Cristobal Ibanez. So he's coming from Vegas, so I'm pretty interested in seeing how that fight plays out.
Man, yeah, this is a banger fucking card.
Yeah, Devin Dixon and Nico as well.
Yeah, this entire card is stacked. A lot of 155 pounders on this card.
Yeah. How many 55 fights?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 655 pound fights.
Shit. It's a lot of lightweights.
A lot of lightweights, a lot of contenders on this card. While we've got Lester here, we're going to go through the main card real quick. We got kicking off the night. We got Kyle Todrank taking on Cody Freeman in a battle of grapplers who can kind of do everything. You know, Kyle with his submission of the year 2 years ago, I think. With
The Twister?
Yeah, with the Twister. And then Cody Freeman's freaking anaconda choke the other night on Shane Torres in Dallas was sick.
That's a very quick
Yeah.
turnaround for Cody.
Yeah, very quick turnaround for Cody, but I think that's good for him.
I agree.
He needs to stay busy.
Yep.
I think that helps him with like making his weight and everything. Like he stays in camp and he stays fresh. So excited to see that fight turn back around. The heavyweights, Anthony Went taking on Omar El Salal. Very exciting fight for these two guys. Both of them really need a win. Like getting 1 or 2 more wins in the heavyweight division in front of Mick here. With contenders coming up, as we know, we're already talking about who's going to contenders.
Yeah.
So
Those heavyweights and light heavyweights and middleweights having like 4 to 5 fights.
yeah, it doesn't.
We
take
saw
much.
him take Robellis at 3-0,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much as a heavyweight to get noticed. Up next, Marcus Nash taking on Felipe Rocha. This is an interesting fight. Felipe, phenomenal grappler, is an absolute tank in there. But Marcus Nash is big and strong as well. Ryan Mandala taking on Sebastian Oyervides, one of the most talked about 125-pound prospects in the nation right now. That kid is sick.
Yeah,
sick.
I got to roll
Sebastian?
with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's talented when it comes to his grappling.
Yeah, I was lucky enough years ago, Classy Grappler actually took me out there and we trained at Tony's gym a few times.
Forrest?
Yeah, and Sebastian was like, I want to say he was like a green belt or some shit like that. Like he was young, but I just remember watching him like he just takes everybody's back like it was nothing, no matter what position. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck he got there. All right, that's dope. Extremely fun.
He was like my teen submission hunter champion or some shit.
Yep.
Like when he was like 13 or 14.
Up next on the card, Shane Keefe taking on Artem Minev, 155 pounds. Devin Dixon and Nico Echeverry, feature fight of the night. Brett Pastor taking on Lester Batres Jr. And then we got Bruce Whitehead, Keenan Jackson in our co-main. And in our main event, Carl Midas taking on Colton England, in which I think is the biggest opportunity to date for Colton. Colton's got the record. He's got the look. I don't think he's had the quality win of an opponent yet who's come from the UFC.
This is the guy.
Exactly who he has in front of
And
him.
it can't get more even. I mean, Colton's 14-4 and Carlton's 14-5.
Yeah, extremely.
Just makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Extremely even. I think this is a fight.
5 rounds.
If Colton comes out and has a finish, I think that's the last time we see Colton on the regional scene. I think he'll get that either again a shot at contenders, or he could just get a straight call in with his record.
Now Carl's coming from a tough camp, and he ain't no slouch. And he knocked out Dimitri Ivy.
Knocked out Dimitri Ivy. Had a great interview afterwards with his backpack. It was
Super
awesome
fun
to see.
guy.
Yeah, super fun guy. It's really going to be about who's able to dictate the flow of the fight the way they want it to be.
100%.
And I think when you look at Colton, dude, he's so well-rounded. Like he can do everything. And he's another guy. It feels like we've been watching him forever, like since he was a kid, growing up and fighting. So, man, I'm pumped to see you back out there. When you look at this fight, what's like the perfect fight for you? Like how does it start? How's it finish for you?
For me in my fight, shit. To be honest with you, I'm ready for anything. I don't really think of anything like solidified. It's just whatever happens. I'm just ready to react and respond, accordingly. I mean, y'all know that fight. The motherfucker came out, flying sidekick.
Karen Foster, man.
How can I even think about it? You know, like what the fuck?
You didn't even know that was coming.
Yeah, I
Like,
had no fucking clue. But so that's exactly, to put the example of exactly what I'm talking about. Is I'm just ready for whatever it is.
And that kick landed.
it damn near shit.
You were like, because you could see. Look, none of us thought he was going to run out and do that.
No,
and,
for sure.
But he came across the cage, and it looked like he just pissed you off.
It did. I got up still wanting to fight. I was like, fuck, it's over. Like, what the fuck? I wanted to hit him.
So he does the sidekick, and then you just grab him and armbar him.
Yeah.
He literally just grabbed him, threw him down, and armbarred him. Yeah. Like it was fantastic, and it was one of those ones again where you could see Lester was like, well, damn, that was it. Yeah. Like I was hoping to get
my whole camp.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
damn, that was my whole camp.
I didn't even get to fight.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, before we get out of here, is there anybody you want to thank or mention?
Man, I just want to thank all of my sponsors, of course, my dad, my coaches. Thank God, Jesus Christ, of course. Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate everything that everybody does for me. You guys as well. Yeah, I'm just ready to go out there, put on a show, and just prove to the world that this is where I'm going to be.
We're super grateful, man, that you trust us with your career right now and that we get to be part of the journey. Because when you get to the UFC, it actually means a lot to us. It's like, man, this dude followed the path and he graduated and look what he did. And we got to play a small role. Obviously, your hard work and what you do outside of the cage that brings you in there is what it is, everything. But like just allowing us to be part of it and you trusting us and getting in that Fury cage, it means a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for you guys. Y'all are the business side of. I mean, I could work hard, but if I don't have those, you guys to set me up correctly, I ain't doing shit with it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you got an interview today with Extra Rounds, right?
Yep, I do.
So he'll be meeting TJ today. So everybody we look forward to seeing that.
Yes, sir. UFC Fight Pass interview coming soon.
Yeah,
there we go. Let's do it, Wayne.
I guess we're done. That's it. Time for talk is over. This has been Fury Unleashed.